So let's talk about our calling. So tonight's show, we're talking about our calling. We're in a perfect, though it's challenging times right now in this day and age, we're making history. And all of us, authors and content creators and writers, we're needed. We have a calling here, and we need to grab a hold of this calling and documenting this time in history, how imperative it is that we write this down. You know, how many of you growing up and going through school read of some of the journals, like the Diary of Anne Frank during the Second World War? If she hadn't been compelled to be her creative spark to write that, we wouldn't have had that. So I'm not saying this is that horrific, though it needs to be recorded. And we as writers are called to write and craft and document these times so we can tell our children and our grandchildren of this time in quarantine. And so in doing so, I really encourage you all to get a journal, start writing down every evening, every morning, first thing when you get up, and make a habit of it. It'll help hone in on your writing habits and creating everything every day. There's 4 things that I want us all to start recording and documenting. And first of all, we've got to accentuate the positive. I want you to write down your successes and your celebrations every day. You can write them in the morning from the day before or at night before you go to bed. Just write your celebrations and your successes. Then I want you to write down where you found courage that day. A couple points, 2 or 3 bullet points of where you were courageous. Okay, and then I want you to find at least 4 things you're grateful for. You know, what we focus on, we get. So when we're focusing on the negative and the pessimisms of the world and the lack of toilet paper, that's what we get more of. So really accentuate and focus on the celebrations and the successes and where you were courageous, and really focus on what you're grateful for. You're grateful for having a warm home, having clothes to wear, having a fresh cup of coffee, having a warm bed to fall asleep in, having toilet paper, whatever you're grateful for. Write it down and accentuate it and shout it out. Okay. The 4th thing that you need to start writing in your journaling, we really dive deep into this in our program, but I want you to start documenting your tasks that you want to accomplish during the day. Whether it's make your bed or get your kids through their coursework at school, which is not always fun. So really write down what your tasks are. Is it to write 1,000 words or for 20 minutes? I don't like to do a word count. I like to do more of a time. I wrote for 30 minutes. I wrote for 45 minutes today. Whatever that is, make it a goal and write it down. Document it, or it won't happen. Chances are it won't happen. It may still happen, but it's less likely to happen. So that's what we're doing, and we're going to share these little journals amongst ourselves and share them in the group, but really focus on and work on documenting and writing down your day.